There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Panoptic Chopstick Show. Another great episode. And we're kind of at the end of an era right now, aren't we?
It is.
In a Panoptic world.
Yeah. We get to determine what a season is, right?
That's
so
right.
we just finished our spring season. This is our wrap-up show.
This is show 15.
15
Show
shows.
15. So normally networks do about 13 episodes. We are beyond what the networks can do. We do
That's
15
right. The show
per
is
season.
so great that we extended an extra 2 episodes.
So we're calling this our spring season that we just completed. And we're going to be rolling into summer season starting next week on next week's show. But one of the things that we thought maybe we would end this season with is kind of a get to know the Chopstick Guys. We get a ton of questions that come in to us every week. People stop us on the street, ask us questions. During our workshops, people ask us questions. So these questions that we've been getting have been stuck into the pile of fortune.
Exactly.
And what is the pile of fortune? It's a pile of fortune cookies.
And inside there is questions for us, the Chopstick Guys.
So we thought it'd be just kind of fun just to have you guys get to know us a little bit more. You've seen us for 15 episodes, or maybe this is your first episode watching. But just a little bit about us and what makes us tick.
Okay.
We thought it'd be kind of fun.
So let's dig in.
Let's
Randomly, you're just going to grab one
and
you figure out what the first question is.
see what we end up. Go ahead and.
Or you're going to make me open the first one?
I don't know. We can do whatever. You want me to open it? Oh, wait, whoa.
Oh, I meant to do that. See?
Okay.
Look at that chopstick guy. Here, I'll open the first one. So, the first question is from Bill. And it says, are you guys real photographers?
I think so.
I hope I'm a real photographer.
No, it's actually a cool question.
No, it is. So, go ahead. Answer.
No, I am. I mean, I've been shooting. Thanks, Bill, for the question, by the way. Been shooting since high school, and I started on film, moved to digital back in 19 sometime.
Yeah.
And been shooting ever since. In fact, my first digital camera was a Minolta digital camera. They made one of the first digital cameras out there. It was a 2-piece camera. It had a lens that disconnected in this body, and it was, I think, 5.005 megapixels. I mean, it was not even it was like a half a megapixel. If you took terrible pictures, the battery lasted me 10 shots. So
I think my first was a Casio.
Yeah, I've been shooting a long time. Love it. Yeah, we are real photographers. This is kind of what we do, and we shoot photography all the time.
Yeah, and my background began in the very early 90s. I was professionally kneeboarding, and so I bought a video camera because I wanted just to...
In case you don't know, this guy is a water ski kneeboard professional. Actually, he did go on the professional circuit.
Back a long time ago when I was very young. So I bought a video camera to film myself. And then really quickly it was like, hey, this is kind of fun making videos. So I started making videos for friends, which then just turned into a video business. And I ended up, for the early 90s, I was, filming weddings, and then I started a few commercial things. And then I got married and decided there's nice things to have, like insurance and things like that. So I left that profession of doing video to get into sales. But that love of that media never left me. And just because of things I loved to hunt and fish and camp and quad, and my camera would go everywhere with me. After a while, I started showing people photos, and they said, well, this is great. I want to learn how to do this better. And so, man, it sparked something even bigger than I had for video. I just fell in love with taking pictures. Then along came the digital revolution, and it was like, wow, I don't have to wait to get my film back. And just so for like the last 17 years, I've been taking pictures professionally. I've done a lot of product photography.
So you are real. You are a real.
I am a real. Yep, I'm a real photographer. So.
All right.
Let's go with our next question.
Sharon, from Sharon. We're going to need a lot of fortune cookies here. What motivates you in your craft? I like that question.
Yeah, I do too. I think motivation just comes from within. I've always felt like I was a very artistic person. Not that I'm a great artist, but I've always had that artistic drive. Maybe it's because I'm the youngest in my family, and the baby is always the one who is the one kind of out there. But that's what motivates me, is just that love of creating. I love to be able to make something and go, wow, I made this, show people, and then move on to the next. So.
No, I like that. I mean, I feel the same way. It's my creative outlet. But I'm personality-wise, I'm a pretty competitive person. I always want to get the best picture. I don't care what I'm doing. I want to get the best picture. I mean, I shot on a photo team for a while. We shot concerts as part of a photo team. My goal was to beat everybody else and get that picture that ends up on the cover, that gets on the inside, that gets published in a magazine. That's kind of what I mean.
I've always said that's what the definition of creativity is: taking what everybody's already done and try to do it better. So there's nothing new. So let's look at our next one. And this says, I'm going to give it to you first. What is your favorite type of photography?
Oh, it's easy. So I just mentioned shooting on a photo team for concerts. So I love.
Shouldn't have done that.
I love concert photography. In fact, when we go back and produce a show, right now we'll pop up a few of the pictures that I've created, some of my favorites from concerts. But that's just, I love it. I mean, that's where I get my creative energy, really, is doing concerts, because I feed off the musicians and vice versa. I love that.
And it has nothing to do with just you love hanging out with musicians or anything like that. You're good at what you do. You've taught me a number of things about how to approach, and in some of our small bites we talk about things like, don't ever cut the neck of a guitar off, because that's like that musician's best friend. Things that, if you're not a concert photographer, you'll never think of that. You'll never know.
The other thing that I love is humanitarian photography. So my camera has allowed me to travel the world. And in fact, I was talking with my wife the other day about that it blows me away what my camera's allowed me to do.
Yeah, you've gone to Africa.
I've gone all over the world because of my camera. And it's a blessing, really, that's taken me all over. I just love being able to share images that can help other people. And that's what humanitarian photography does. It's not exploitive. And there's a lot of people that do use it as an exploitation to gain money, to do stuff, but I just look at it as a way.
It's not travel photography. No, it's humanitarian.
It's very different. So those are the two things I love. What
spotlight. You know what? It's really funny. It's really a toss-up. I love portrait. That's probably my favorite, I will say, today.
And you're good at it. You're really good at it.
But I love landscape photography. And it's not because I think, I think I'm very good at portrait photography. I think I'm okay at landscape photography. But I love landscape photography. You wouldn't know this by hearing me talk all the time, but I am kind of a person who likes to get away. I like to be out by myself. I like to talk. I like to be around people, but I also like my downtime, and I love being out in nature and seeing things. So, personally, landscape, but I love to be. I'm more creative in my portrait.
Just show us some of the landscape pictures. I mean, when we produce this, why don't you put up some landscape pictures now?
Okay, so here's some of the pictures of my favorite spots. So as you can see, I love the Eastern Sierras. I love places like Death Valley, Alabama Hills. I mean, just some places I can't get enough of. But again, one of the problems with landscape photography, for a lot of people it's not a problem, but for me it is. I don't have enough control. I just kind of am at the mercy of what that day looks like. Is there going to be a sunrise? Is there going to be clouds? Is there going to be a sunset? So portraits, I have more control of. So I really like a little of both. That's not really an answer, but
it was a good answer. It was a good answer. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I think it's good to get to know who you're watching all this. Trying not to rip it here all the time. All right. This is a simple question. It's from Doug, and he says, "Do you guys shoot every day, or how? It's probably how often do you shoot?" Is the question he's asking. But
do I shoot every day? No, I don't shoot every day. But I'll tell you what. Last week it felt like I shot every day.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! It was a landscape shoot, which was more of a personal project. But then it became concert, right? We went out and we shot Eli Young Band.
Yep.
The next day I had 22 prom portraits to do. I had a number of things on Sunday. Sunday was a workshop, taught a workshop, so the complete day. Got home. The next day was shooting another portrait session. So during the week, probably 3 times a week, I've got a job that I have to shoot.
I feel bad because when I stood here at the beginning of, right after episode 1, in January, we said, I gave my call out to everybody. I said, okay, what is your resolution, your photography resolution? What was mine? Remember?
Take a picture every day.
Shoot every day.
Yeah.
How long did it last? A day. Right? I would love to be able to shoot every day, but doing all the stuff that we're doing, There's a lot of pre-planning and prep that goes into it,
There
where
is.
you just can't get out and shoot every day. But I try to at least pick up my camera, whether or not I actually click the shutter. I pick up my camera every day. So good question.
You know, a new year could start at any point. You don't have to start on January
That's
1st.
true.
You can start tomorrow shooting a picture every day. All right, that's from Jennifer.
I hope it's not hard.
You hope it's not hard. It says, when you're not shooting pictures, what do you like to do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Edit pictures.
Yeah. Just as a personal thing, I love spending time with my family. We just hang out and we love to laugh. You should see sitting around the dinner table. I mean, it's pretty fun. I've got 2 incredible girls, an incredible wife. We just love hanging out, and they are such a blessing to me. I use that word often, like I use the word epic often, but they really are a blessing to me because they allow me to do what I love to do, and that's to share photography with others, to shoot, to teach. I just love hanging out.
Good. Well,
And you?
I got 4 children, so right there alone, that answers what I do when
That's
I'm
what
not
you
taking
do.
pictures.
Whether
right?
you enjoy it or not, I don't know. You do got 4
And I do. And we live in a beautiful part of the state, and we love getting out and seeing what's out there. I said earlier, I like to hunt and I like to fish. We love to go camping. We have quads. So I love being outdoors. I love seeing things. Camera goes with me everywhere. But, with 4 kids, I have enough stuff to keep me busy right now at this point in my life. So, good question. But
Is it your pick?
yours.
My pick. Okay.
Your pick. Ooh, not that one. I don't know.
This is going to be a hard one. I have this feeling. It's from Renee. It's another kind of just short question, but maybe a little deeper. It says, are you formally trained? In what?
Did I wear a tuxedo when I was? No. Yes and no. I don't have formal training. I don't have a degree in photography. But I was formally trained by a friend of mine who was a photographer that had a number of photographers that worked for him in Southern California. He moved to Northern California and formally trained me.
Yep.
So I spent about 10 years under his wing learning all the aspects of photography.
And I am not formally trained. I did have the benefit. I worked for Minolta back. I don't know if you guys remember Minolta, the camera company. It's all from the mines of Minolta. So I worked for their business division back in the 90s. And that's right when digital cameras were coming out. So we often would have the digital guys come in and they would just show us what they're doing. And so, I was shooting film back then, but that really got me started in this is a cool technology. I love technology stuff. And so they kind of train me on a lot of how you shift from film to digital.
Good.
But not formally trained, but love doing it.
All right. So this one. Hey, did you write this one? This says it's from Steve.
It must be. It's got to be an incredible question.
It says, you guys seem to get along well on camera. What about off?
It's movie magic.
It is. We hate each other when we're off this show.
So that was addressed to me and then to you.
Okay.
So, we get along pretty incredible. We just joke, that joke, we're kind of brothers from another mother. We had the same sense of humor. We actually discovered it this year we knew each other for, 10 years or so, but really, really reconnected on our trip to India this year.
When you spend a month with somebody that you can't get away from.
It was 24/7. You see the good and the bad, but there's a lot more good than bad.
Yeah.
And we spent 50% of our time laughing. And just having a really fun time and realizing, if we put our heads together with what we know and make it fun, it might be something that other people would enjoy too. And it's.
And if you followed us at all, we had a friend of ours, and she went with us to India. So it was like 27 hours of flying. About hour 23, she woke up and went, "Do you guys ever shut up?
You're still talking.
You're still talking." So, and that's what it was for a month, and that's kind of how we are off camera, just like you see on camera. So, no, we enjoy being around each other.
All right, I think we have time for a few more. I don't know if we're going to get through all of these.
Okay.
But,
how about one apiece? We'll
Okay.
finish it there.
why, Dave? I think it's like the third date we have, isn't it? Dave says, "Why did you choose Nikon?" That's a good question.
It is. I chose Nikon simply because when I switched from film to digital, I already had Nikon lenses. And the first Nikon cameras, including the ones, even the latest ones, all the Nikon lenses would mount to their digital, even their current cameras right now. So that was the only reason, was I already had the glass. I was like, why am I going to reinvest and buy additional lenses? So.
No, that's good. like I had mentioned, I was working for Minolta. Minolta was bought out by a camera company, Konica. That's the name that a lot of people don't even remember, but they were actually bought out by Konica, got out of the camera business, and Sony bought the camera side of the company, and Konica bought the business division.
Really?
And so that was the thing. All these first Sony digital cameras used Minolta lenses. They had that same mount. So when I switched over, I ended up asking a friend, hey, what should I get? And like, Nikon film. So I had an N6006, excuse me, great little camera. And I just, from that point, have always been a Nikon guy. I have nothing against Canon, nothing against, and I shoot with Fuji also, nothing against any other manufacturer. The Nikon just fits my hand well, right? And plus I have all Nikon glass. Once you make that investment, it's hard to go backwards, but it just fits well. I like the way it holds.
Yep. And I think if I were to start over today, I'd be looking very, very hard at Sony.
Yep.
I own an A7 and I really like it, but I'm not ready to leave the glass behind that I own for Nikon. So.
All right. 1 minute left or so.
You're gonna steal my question? Come on, you question hall. This one's from Amanda.
I'm my daughter.
Yeah. Well, this one's from you, and now it's from your daughter. No. And it says, how often do you do workshops, and how are they different?
Well, good. Thank you, Amanda. We do workshops. We try to do at least 2 a month. And they are incredible workshops. Our name, Panoptic, means all-encompassing, and that's what we do. We cover everything from Photoshop to pre-process, post-process, taking of the picture, landscape, portrait, architecture, concert, whatever it is, we do it. Love to have you join us. We are different because we are a teaching workshop. Yes. We're not just a photo session, but we actually go and we teach you photography.
You will be very frustrated if you came to our workshop thinking you're going to fill your portfolio.
Yeah, which we do have portfolio filling workshops, but that's not who we are. We are very different in that sense that you will learn something by the time you leave for today. So those are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome questions.
So that's pretty good. Let's wrap this up now. I think some food for thought is...
That's my problem. I keep saying final thoughts. Like I'm dying. Like, these are my final thoughts. No, it's food for thought.
Your food for thought. It is just... we've really enjoyed doing this. We've had a blast. We're looking forward to the show getting better. We're excited to the fact that our new video intern starts next week.
Yes.
So for our next season, which starts in a couple of weeks or the following week, hopefully you're going to see a marked improvement in our video quality.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how much fun we actually have. It's almost embarrassing to know that this is what we do, guys. We teach workshops. And we
take pictures.
We run the show. We do our small bites. All that is what we do for a living, and plus we do our photography just from our photography studios at the same time. Yeah. So we still do a lot of corporate work. But man, we're having a blast. It's a 24/7 thing that we do. But just having a great time. And I just want to tell you, heart to heart, we thank you and appreciate every single person here that watches our show on a weekly basis. And maybe you just catch 1 or 2 shows so far, but join us. Subscribe to this channel. Tell all of your friends. These guys are amazing.
And you need to have them help us by subscribing.
Please help us subscribe, or have them subscribe and help us. And always, we love to hear your comments, your questions, all of that. But thanks for joining us for this season. It has been an incredible start to the Panoptic Chopstick Show. And we look forward to the next 15 shows before we end up the summer season. But that's it for today. All right. Thanks so much. That's all.
And we're out. See ya.
We want to welcome you to our YouTube channel. That's right, the Panoptic Chopstick channel, where we are bringing fun to photography.
Hey, we want to invite you each week to join us on Tuesday, where we put out a new episode of our Panoptic Chopstick Show, where we will give you tips, tricks, interviews with photographers, we'll give you DIY projects to do on your own, and maybe even inspire you a bit.
That's right, including always a little dash of fun. So we want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe and like our channel, where you will get notified every Tuesday of brand new episodes. Well, welcome to the Panoptic Chopsticks channel.
Come join the fun.